Introducing the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and many more. The Open Palm Podcast, where the host engages his listeners with inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas. Topics include: make more mistakes, how much is your value, don't get right, get going, learning to let go, excellence is a habit, and more. Binge listen today. Subscribe today. It's getting excellent ratings. That's the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. You can also find it on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your social networks and connect on Twitter and Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's the Open Palm Podcast with Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms. Go listen, download, and subscribe now.
The body makes a wonderful servant, but a cruel master. The mind makes a wonderful servant, but a harsh and cruel master. What are we speaking of, my friend? Well, there are often times where we feel we are not in control, where we feel a slave to our inhibitions, to different notions, to urges, not just to someone else, but to ourselves. For it is a sad thing to be imprisoned by your own mind. I watched an interview with J. Cole, and which he spoke on his addictions, not only with alcohol, but also with social media. The scroll hole, the infinite scroll theory, thumbing down through Instagram and Facebook and checking out other people's lives, living vicariously through others, or just always on Twitter, just seeing what the next person says, what did they say, what did he say, what did she say? Living through the lives of others and forgetting to live your own. And J. Cole spoke about meditating. Now, for those of you who don't know who J. Cole is a hip-hop artist with many albums, and he's just an all-around dope person. But on this interview, he got very vulnerable in saying that he felt that he had been a victim to different addictions. Drinking with the friends and just going out. But whenever he tried to stop drinking, people looked at him differently. And whenever he tried to stop social media and tried to stop all this intake, this consuming, all this information, his own body would react differently. He would sign out to different programs only to find himself back on them in the same second. In the same moment, he would log off, he would log back in, wondering how he was back on the same device. I have felt this as well. And it is in these moments that we may ask ourselves, who's in control? But with gratitude, we can understand that if we notice these moments, we have made progress. Where J. Cole said he fell into meditation, observing the mind, becoming that observer, and that perspective, that angle, allowed him to step outside of himself and see things in another way. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And he said that just noticing that you are distracted is cause for congratulation. That's a celebration. You should be thankful. For there are many who don't see these moments. There are many who are not mindful in the day-to-day. And there are many that the sun goes up and comes down, and they are in the same spot, never moving. not changing, just consuming, not creating. Mindfulness is paying attention on purpose. And when you notice that you have strayed, when you notice your attention has swayed away, it is a moment for congratulation. It is a moment of celebration. Pop the champagne, my friend. You did it. You made progress. Even 1% better is better than 0%. A 1% increase in mindfulness is 100 times better than you were yesterday if you have 0% today. So any progress is better than no progress, my friend. If you find yourself in that scroll hole, in that infinite scroll where you're just on social media and you can't get off, but then there's a moment, there's a window where you snap out of it. You realize that you've been on this thing for an hour and time has passed you by, and you have a choice. You have a crossroads. You have an opportunity to either get off now and do something productive, or stay on the device. I pray you make the right choice. Choose wisely. But know that in the act of seeing yourself distracted, it is cause for celebration. You have done something magnificent. You have noticed a moment that many see go by unchecked. Our subconscious mind can go on autopilot, for it can be a wonderful servant if we use it as such, but a cruel master if the majority of the time it uses us. Thank you for listening, my friend. This has been Jerome Shaw on TOP, that is the Open Palm Podcast, here in San Antonio, Texas. The Open Palm means harmony with the world, understanding our place in the world, using our skills accordingly, greeting the world with an open palm instead of a closed fist. I pray you received an encouraging message from this episode, and that it would encourage you and enlighten you to look at things a little differently, knowing that each mindful moment can be just that, mindful. You know, even this podcast, doing these episodes, for me, it's a meditation. I have to focus on getting my point across, but I'm also striving to speak from the heart, speaking from a place that is genuine, that is my truth. But being able to do that, and also to listen and hear myself at the same time, to hear that heart beating within, letting me know that I'm on the right track. Yes, I'm in tune. I'm in line with my passion. I'm in line with my purpose. This is a meditation. I can easily get distracted while I'm doing these episodes. And sometimes it's tough to remain focused. I've done so many of these episodes already that I can often go on autopilot. But I pray that you hear the genuineness, and that you hear that I really want the best for you. And I pray that you would do the same for another person. Share this episode with a like-minded individual like yourself who is learning and growing, paying attention, being mindful, and becoming their greatest version. Pay it forward today and spread this message so more can hear it. If you would like to know how to support the podcast, as many others are doing, and I thank all who continue to donate to the podcast, my friend, I invite you to open your browser to anchor.fm/jshaw, and clicking that little support button there is much appreciated, where even $1 goes a long way to making a difference. Even taking just a moment to give this a positive rating on whatever platform you have chosen to listen to it is much appreciated, my friend, and I thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful and blessed day or night, wherever you are. Take care. Hey there, my friend. So, you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.